Mr. Beast star Kris Tyson appears to be reaching its conclusion, but I do have a sneaking suspicion that things are about to get much darker for Kris. Someone else coming forward who is good friends with the lava character who we discussed in the last 2 videos, claiming that Kris did
Can you zoom out,
him wrong as well.
Over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behavior online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I have been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough online and taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel, and any association with Mr. Beast. I do not condone or support any of the inappropriate actions. I will allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation, and they will take any further actions based on their findings. I did expect him to respond. I didn't expect him to respond at the same time, though. He's protecting his image. Literally, what else can you do? What else is he supposed to do? Like, when something like this comes out, it's like, what else can I say? I gotta say something, and there's really nothing else for me to say but this. Ludwig better? You want me to watch the Ludwig video instead? Ah, here you go.
You might notice I'm not.
Holy shit, bro! Every nigga is just deep in. I can't start a video with a nigga without a nigga being in my face. Fuck!
Not my normal setup. I don't sound like I normally do. I probably don't even look like I normally do. And the answer for that's simple. I'm in Paris. I'm on vacation with my mother and my sister.
Niggas in Paris. I mean, not.
Visiting my French family. And I figured I could take a week off. No big deal. Nothing major is going to happen in the time that I'm gone. And the week that I've been gone, Joe Biden dropped out of the presidential race. I was featured on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, which is cool, and there have been a bunch, and I mean a bunch of allegations about Ava Kris Tyson. Now, bear with me here. It is.
I know that we're here for one particular reason and one particular reason only, but this little slit that niggas be getting in the side,
1:30
bro.
a.m. My family's sleeping. I'm doing the best I.
Like this making a return is really bothering me. It's deep within my soul type bothering me because I thought it was deleted from our infrastructure as a society, but it's coming back, and it's coming back full fucking force. And I don't know what motivated niggas to start doing it, but they're confidently wearing it now, and I don't know why.
I can. I got a damn MacBook with 800 tabs open because we're gonna go through as many.
We gotta bring back the shame.
The credible allegations as I was able to find and actually discuss, what is legitimate, what is not legitimate, how do you discern all that? And before we jump into anything, it's worth noting, Ava is trans. But I'm not going to talk about that after this. I think it's pretty irrelevant, right? I'm just going to discuss what actually and factually happened, the same that I did with the doc, the same that I will do with Cody Ko. Like all 3 of those people are white. I'm not going to make a point about them all being white. In the same way I won't make a point about Doc being straight. In the same way I won't make a point about Ava being trans. Don't think it's relevant. I'll just refer to her as she, and then the shit that she did that I think is bad.
I wish it could be that simple, you know what I'm saying? They said, why mention it then? You are right, but like it's not that simple. I wish it were that simple though, but from the response that I saw when we last looked at the situation, it was not that simple, and it was used as an excuse to say we were right. We were right to be suspicious. We were right to look over our shoulders. We were right to tell our kids to stay away from those people. Like if it were as simple as you just gendering her properly, then that would be great. But it's not that. Whole legion of individuals, I'm sure, that's using this as a reason to be like, yeah, nope, this is why you don't do this. This is why you don't do that. See, this is what happens when you let everybody do it. You know what I'm saying? It's all types of reasons and justifications that they're about to use now. And I think you do owe it to some degree, if you have a large platform, to your audience to at least throw a disclaimer out there that the reason why that would even be mentioned is because of the massive excuses that people tend to give when trans people are brought up in these contexts, to use as like a reason for like, oh, they're all demented, or there's something wrong in the head, or every single one of these people are sick, twisted, and perverted, or something like that. Like, it does mean something. It is relevant, unfortunately.
About the same. Anyway, jumping into it, the first thing, and I think the most egregious and like definitely factually happened thing.
God damn. They made a wiki page about this? How do you do this?
Is pertaining to lolly drawings, which
like, what the fuck? How do you? What? I'm like, I saw this when I was a kid, and I was like, manga shit or like anime, and you would look up your favorite character, like look at it's like a whole arc. They got character arcs for niggas.
is basically like, and I'm just reading here from an article, which is basically underaged art of girls, which is crazy to use the word art there, but there is a notorious lolly artist called Shadman, who I've like heard about in passing, but has a few big controversies under his belt. The first one is that he made like sexual art of Keemstar's 7-year-old daughter giving Donald Trump a. That's a real thing that he actually did that was out there on the internet because he lost it.
Why am I hearing about
that? Which is a crime. Shouldn't happen. I don't give a shit what you think about Keemstar. It's just all fucking horrible things to do. And also drew art of Daphne Keene, who is an actress who was 12 at the time, and in the movie Logan being molested and beaten up. So really, the guy went from maybe drawing like Lolly, which is like supposed to be fictional anime 1,000-year-old dragon characters, to just like real children, human in the real world.
Which is weird because like I don't understand out of all the designs for a 1,000-year-old character and they're animated, why they have to look like a kid. You know how many different how many different strange forms of expression you could come up with for a character that's supposedly 1,000, and you decide to draw like a prepubescent child? That's the form that you want them to take?
Sexual positions, which is like a fucking crime, at least in my book. So anyway, that's Shadman. That is the artist who did all this. And what is Ava's relationship to Shadman? Well, it seems like for years an avid follower or perhaps fan. And this video by Adrox distills it pretty well and talks. I'm just going to highlight a few of the key moments here about their relationship.
There are two versions of her in the show. In one, she's 17, and in the other, she's 10.
This is talking about a certain anime character.
Shadman posted a 10-year-old version stating, "What is this, and why do people keep sending me this?" Ava replied underneath saying, "Please, Shad, please. I believe everyone on the..."
Now, it's pretty obvious what Ava is saying there when she's writing, "Please, Shad, please." It's like, please make, lolly art of this, which is like...
Yeah, I'm like, I really didn't... Like, he's saying it's obvious. I literally have no idea what you mean by that. Like, please stay away. Please don't have sick thought. I don't know what this is supposed to mean.
A generally weird thing to do, but that's not where it ends with the Shadman arc. It's pretty obvious based off a live stream that Ava did.
This is so weird.
She was a frequent browser of Shadman's website.
I thought he was about to just say she was a freak.
As well.
Ava will post a clip from their live stream where they accidentally visited Shadman's website. What's even weirder is that they gave him a shout out stating, "Shout out to Shadbase for having safe for work drawings today." I accidentally put up his website on stream.
Which is like, not only doing it, but then also like tweeting it out has a level of normalcy shouldn't exist with a person like Shadman who draws the shit that he does, right? But the most egregious part of the relationship between Shad and Ava is a drawing that like people are theorizing might have been like contracted, like she might have paid for, or at the very least bought a print of, and that's this drawing here that's blurred out.
Girl wearing a "Please be patient, I have autism" cap, pointing a gun at her mouth. She has a fidget spinner as an earring and a spade tattoo on her thigh that says BBC, which we all know what it means. On November...
I don't understand, bro. I don't get it.
18,
we do all know.
Ava responded to a tweet from Grande and Mr. Beast stating, "This is coming from a guy who owns a Shad-based drawing and has it as a centerpiece in his living room."
And now people thought that was a joke, maybe. Like some people maybe just read this as like edgy. You don't actually have a Shadman drawing. But it was later discovered this is featured in an actual Mr. Beast video.
So was Ava talking to Mr. Beast when this was said? They're childhood friends. So they all knew at this time that this was really creepy and weird, right?
A guy.
This isn't like public or like private knowledge that like the dude that they're getting this weird artwork from is like on some weirdo shit. If he's got drawings from him in his own, you know what I'm saying, in his apartment or in his studio facility, whatever you want to call it. Like if it was at that point, they knew what he was about and they're still like, oh, we still all good. So as far as I'm concerned, like the Mr. Beast like apology or like, oh, I'm acting like, oh, this is bad and whatever the case is, unless Mr. Beast was like, I don't know, like 16 or 15 years old at the time of it happening.
Who owns a Shad-based drawing and has it as a centerpiece in his living room.
And now people thought that was a joke, maybe. Like some people maybe just read this as like edgy. You don't actually have a Shadman drawing. But it was later discovered This is featured in an actual Mr. Beast video. It's like a Mr. Beast buying my friend or pizza driver a home video, and here is that exact drawing.
Mr. Beast didn't apologize for the lolly. I mean, those things to me are in the same conversation. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If I saw somebody with messages to a 13-year-old in their phone, I would be weirded out and feel obligated to be like, hey, police help. In the same way, I feel like if I saw somebody with like pictures of little girls, even if they were animated, I'd still would be like, bro, I mean, that's just as weird to me. I don't know, maybe that's a cause for fucking concern.
You can see in the corner that I assume is Ava's drawing that was in this home. So not only was talking to Shadman on Twitter, like pulling up the website on stream by accident, but even like buying the prints of this dude who's literally just drawing child. Like there's no other way. He's just doing that. So this is 100% true. This 100% happened and is fucked up. Is a bad thing to have in your past. And so if you've seen anything of that happened. Moving on, next allegation. Because again, these all kind of like came crashing down, similar timing. I feel like once the first allegation caught wind, a bunch more got added too. And another one that's just 100% factually true.
Having animated CP in your edifice is wild. These people are disgusting.
It's like an old video of Ava where she shares revenge porn pics of Jeanette McCurdy from iCarly. I'll just play the clip here.
How's it going, you guys? Maybe tomorrow, because Nickelodeon has that kind of power. But the link's in the description if you want to see them.
Oh my god, bro, like, what is happening? Cause, like, I don't understand.
I mean, I'm not endorsing people to go look at somebody else's private business, but
I'm not endorsing people to look at people's private business. Hey guys, the link is in the fucking description.
I know that, people might want to see them, so it's there if you want it. First off, what I have to say.
And then Ava goes on to say that, like, you shouldn't share revenge pics, and it's, like, wrong to do, and people like Perez Hilton are bad for doing it. But then, like, does it. Like, just says and presumably put the link to just graphic pics of Jeanette McCurdy in the description of, like, I'm assuming a YouTube video here. So this happened. It was a weird thing to do. It felt like it was an attempt at being journalistic or thorough, but was actually just a fucked up thing to do. So that 100% true.
I swear the world changed after Lou Ratchet dropped that iconic skit.
Nah, it didn't. It's just people just got exposed, This has been going on for generations, Children have been victimized and exploited for eons, what I'm saying, since the beginning of time damn near. But I guess we're like seeing it happen in such rapid succession to such huge figures, I guess. Maybe you think that somebody with that much influence or pull wouldn't be able to keep something as disgusting as that hidden for as long as they've been able to. I think that's probably what the bigger shock is, that you're seeing so many bigger figures in such rapid succession be like outed for weird shit. So that I would agree with you on, but this, I don't know what it is. It's like ingrained or
we
something.
all need
like
to give
I don't
Cat
understand.
Williams a round of applause. 2024 is the year of truth.
I don't get it.
The next one is a Snapchat conversation that's been going around that has just like a few sort of out of context messages, just like saved messages, archived messages from Ava. One of them is like sharing that Belle Delphine is going to sell bath water. Another one is just saying, thanks, Dad. And this is a trend we'll see later on. We'll talk about that in a minute, but that's something that Ava does a lot. And then just other conversations like...
What, call people daddy?
Vague posts. Nothing too weird, but bear in mind, these are Snap conversations with like a 14-year-old when Ava was like college age, I believe like 19 years old. And these are 100% legitimate. It comes from this guy, Young No Name, and said after posting these pictures online, I'll only say that in regards to the Snapchats and messages that went crazy that I took down. It is weird to send those messages to a 14-year-old because young no name was 14 at the time, but it never went past the edgy jokes at all. As for all the other stuff, I can't say. And then went a little more defensive today and said most of these texts by Kris Tyson were taken with no context, and they did not go further than the jokes in the snaps. Kris could have been replying to anything I sent. There was no bad intention of the messages between us. The other stuff I cannot speak for.
This wouldn't be as bad of a look if there weren't, like, if it was one person, but the fact that there's 1, 2, and then there's a third minor that's like saying something, like I said, isolated incidences can sometimes be chalked up to, yeah, I learned from that mistake. That probably wasn't, now that I think back and I reflect, let's never do that again because I didn't know how that would look or how it would, you know what I'm saying, be received. You get 2, 3 instances of something like that happening, and they all just happen to be within the same group or age range. That's why people feel the same way that they do about Drake and the other shit. Is because of the instances, the amount of times that people catch you in these situations, not just if it just happened or you just happen to be around a minor for like a second or two, and then people are trying to extrapolate all these other points and situations from shit that doesn't even have any correlation. No, they just keep seeing it as a repeat example with you and however many different people that they keep seeing you with. And in this situation, it seems to be the same thing. If this was an isolated situation, okay, but you being edgy, quote unquote, and inappropriate with not 1, not 2, but 3, potentially more minors, it's just weird.
So basically saying, like,
that's creepy.
After posting the messages himself, it was just edgy jokes. But this is a trend of Ava sending edgy jokes to, like, teens, right? Like younger teens, while being, like, 19 years old, sending it to 14-year-olds. Because it didn't just happen with Young No Name. It also happened with this guy, Nathan, who made a video, and I'll just play a clip from here.
I was definitely uncomfortable at being called daddy by a 20-year-old. And even just thinking about it now, it's just uncomfortable.
And now you might be wondering, like, okay, how do you even end up in a position as like a 20-year-old, 19-year-old, whatever it is?
You don't.
Talking to, 14, 15-year-olds.
You go out of your way to avoid situations like that purposefully.
And it seems like a lot of this started from work. These are basically all people who at one point or another were part of like a Discord server and acting as Discord mods. Some of them got elevated to position of like Mr. Beast gaming producers who would help like basically build the Minecraft worlds that they used to use, or like setting up a Gmod server. So people who had like the technical ability and the free time that a fucking high schooler does were all added to like a private Discord server that later became a public Discord server where these edgy jokes were kind of shared. For the most part, almost all of these jokes and comments from Ava are happening in like group messages. But fact remains, Ava's still like around 20 at the time, and there are minors who are like around 14 who are seeing these jokes. Okay, so there's a history of Ava talking somewhat inappropriately to like minors who were like Discord sort of workers, employees, mods, I guess if you will. But the biggest accusation came with a guy named Lava. And I'll just read it out here. Kris Tyson from Mr. Beast has been messaging a male minor starting when the minor was around 13. This is Lava and Kris. Ava.
And this is the person we knew about. And people, for whatever reason, took his testimony as like, oh yeah, he said nothing happened, so nothing happened. Like, what the fuck?
20. The two constantly joked inappropriately with each other about hentai addiction, sending suggestive pictures, etc. They confirmed met up together when the minor was 16. So, like, the worst faith interpretation of this is Ava groomed this 13-year-old and then met up with them, right? What happened at this meetup? I think that is, like, the most obvious question. And this is definitely the biggest, and it's worth going through, so let's go through it together. Now, this all dropped from a video from this guy named Prism, which is a very hard video to watch.
It's a hard video to watch because he printed out paper and he's pulling up the screenshots, and it's really just like, it really make me want to punch a nigga in the mouth. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, it's like the most dramatic thing. I know you saying, Sean, I've never been so unnaturally angry at something in my life, and just something so unnecessary. Cause it's just like, brother, you could literally have just like did a little commentary video and pulled the shit up. I hate that he did that. I'm about to skip past this part because it's just that really made me mad, to be honest. At my core, I actually hate him for that.
15-year-olds. Like it would be the same if it was presumably talking to like a Mr. Beast member as it were talking to Lava here, which is weird. Which is weird when you're 20 and you're calling someone dad or daddy. That's weird. Now, Lava and Ava originally got connected because Lava won a CSGO knife giveaway from a Mr. Beast video. And so Ava was the one who like had the connection with those knives, got the contact information, sent it out. Later on, Ava was looking for like Discord moderators to help set up a Discord channel. And Lava, who had some experience in that, was like, I'll do it. And that's how the two originally got connected. Lava started doing work as a Discord moderator, moved on to doing work as like a Minecraft modder, would occasionally create like Gmod lobbies, basically just different tech stuff in the gaming world that would help for like the Mr. Beast gaming channel or just for Ava personally. And I've confirmed all of this because I talked to Lava directly. Now, in working with Ava, they ended up being in like the same Discord server that started as like a private, Discord server, which is where all these messages are from. None of these messages are from private DMs between the two of them, but they still contain a lot of inappropriate jokes, like this one here. Now, it's worth noting this is not like a private snap that Ava sent directly to Lava. It was part of a Snapchat group chat that they were both in, but fact remains, like, maybe you shouldn't just be in a fucking group chat with a 14-year-old who you've hired to be like a Minecraft modder, right? Your relationship should be professional, and that is it. And you can't talk like you would in a boys chat with all of your same age friends as you would in a chat with someone who you've hired who is 14 years old when you're 20. I think that's pretty fair. That's just a fact that Ava should not have talked in that Discord server like she did with minors present, all right? Especially minors who are like in that situation because they are working for you.
That's weird, man. That's weird. It's even creepier when you get into the thought of like, oh yeah, here's the promise of you having an opportunity to maybe be on a team where we edit and work together in tandem with one another, and this could probably lead into an opportunity later on. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you have a part-time work opportunity as you're going through high school and through college and shit like that, and oh shit, no, I'm gonna just start talking to you inappropriately. That's super fucking weird. It's like a lure to get somebody into the door and then be like, oh yeah, well, here's my sexual degeneracy, like here's my additional inappropriate behavior that you also got to deal with, and then you come back 7 years later echoing the sentiments that nothing bad actually happened. You don't even know that was bad. The dude Lava said this like on the tweet, like, oh yeah, nothing bad or inappropriate happened. Nigga, what are you talking? And I get it, it's not his fault, but that's weird. That's a weirder step.
A lot of the things that were said were just inappropriate. Like, just fucking, you shouldn't drop the Coming for America joke when the 14-year-old's in the Snapchat group chat. Make sense? The Snapchat group chat shouldn't even have a 14-year-old in it in the first place. But Lava refuted the claim that he was taken advantage of, or basically that he was groomed. He said these videos were massive lies, twisting the truth. Ava never did anything wrong, just made a few edgy jokes. The videos that he attached aren't actually the ones that include the messages. It's totally different videos, but I digress. Lava says not a victim. And how these videos and messages were discovered in the first place is also kind of wild. So the guy who made it, Prism, that video that I talked about, that 43-minute long video.
Nolan, with the 3 months, I appreciate you. Whatever happened to protecting the children? We've never protected children.
It's going down in here. I'm with the money team.
That's what gets everything like misconstrued. Like, we've never done a good job of protecting children because it just keeps happening. Somewhere along the line, the world has made itself pretend that they've done a good job at looking after and keeping a good hold over everything, and generally reining in inappropriate behavior when it happens to women in the workplace, children at schools, at the workplace, when they have potential opportunities that you could give them, being looked after in any capacity. A lot of the time, like, it's just clearly we haven't been doing a good job of that at all. And I think when people are just so irrationally, or it appears as though they're irrationally upset when content creators specifically, people who generally don't offer much to the world in terms of like real world value of anything, come to the internet and they express, not openly, but this weird desire to take advantage of or exploit children, and they use their fan base as a way to get connected with them, access them, and then ultimately take advantage of them for whatever gain that they want personally. I think when people appear so irrationally upset at that, people that don't have children or little ones to look after, like, may get confused and they start arguing other points. And I understand why it's so problematic for the discourse around Ava right now to be such a high point of contention because of transphobia. But there's another part of it where it's like, all right, fuck every other conversation right now too, because this bitch is a fucking predator. Like, that shit is weird to me. I not grew up, but like bro, like I have the first photos of my nephew coming out of the womb. Like, I'm holding this boy. I'm literally sitting here like right next to him as he's taking his first breath, first burp, while he's napping, first week. Like, been with him throughout his entire life. He's about to be 5 years old soon, bro. Like, I don't look at him and I'm just like, oh yeah, like the job stops here and you don't need any protection or looking after. Like, there's anxiety attached with having him around at any point because there's people that exist in this world that are like looking to exploit. And I'm not even saying it has to be a right now thing. 10 years from now, that anxiety is not going to go away. Like, I don't understand why people have such a hard time entertaining the fact that people like this are despicable and they come off like the most inhumane pieces of garbage in the world. I don't get that. Like, there shouldn't even be a conversation really about that many things. I get why it has to happen though. I do. I understand why it has to happen.
Brother, I remember holding my baby sister when she was born in 2016. Chris needs to be in the Darkhold. Children and women aren't protected in this society. It's sickening.
Like, you hold if you're holding that little like life in your arms for a minute, like, it's a totally different experience. It really is. Like, I feel like in that moment you just get it. You understand. Like, okay, wait, not like, yo, this ain't even about me no more. Like, this is crazy. You get what I'm saying? Why it's so hard to consider, okay, these people are coming up after me. Like, I'm going to try my best to be like a stepping stool for them in some way, you know?
Interview to ambush the alleged victims and confront them. And when I asked Lava directly, that's exactly what he told me. In fact, you can see this is the DM from Prism to Lava, who said, "My name is Martin. I would like to interview you. I want to interview an anime fan. I think it'd be interesting because you worked on the Mr. Beast server. I will pay you if you would like." Which was not at all the intention. You know, Prism obviously had some inkling that there was like inappropriate messages and wanted to uncover them, but like went through it in a very like shady way. I don't know why. I don't know why he didn't just think to be forthcoming, but that is what he did. He also sat on this story for 1 year.
Or a year went by, and still the information has not gotten out.
And the reason is because he wanted it to go out through a different source and said that he reached out to 50 plus people. This video is a nightmare watch, but he reached out to, and this is a real list, Charlie Kirk, EDP, Oompaville, Chris Hansen, Sam Hyde, and Chris Chan.
What the fuck? Bro, what the fuck? I just there's something wrong. There's something wrong with me. This is the craziest list of niggas.
Which is weird.
I don't even know, like, the fucked up thing. I don't know who Oompa Loompaville is or who these other niggas are, but the 4 names, and I don't even know all the intricacies of what Chris Chan did. I just know the one thing is like easy enough to put this nigga on the list and integrate for the rest of all eternity. What made you, like, why is that the list?
EDP, Oompaville, Chris Hansen, Sam Hyde, and Chris Chan. Which is weird. Why would you reach out to EDP to be the one to drop the news on Ava having inappropriate conversations with someone? That's the wrong guy for the job. I mean, that's like being down 2 points and giving Slime the ball for the game-winning shot. It just doesn't make sense. That's not the guy that you pick. Prism apparently also stalked one of the people to try to get them to drop this story. Again, this is all from their video. You can watch it yourself.
And so with the Chris Chan thing, I took me and my business partner, and we went to Virginia. We drove halfway across the United States. We searched the Chesterfield Gateway homes because we believed he was there. That's where people speculated he was being held at. And we looked for Chris Chan. We did not see him there. It's a group home for mentally challenged people.
Why? What is he talking about?
Dude, what the fuck? Just post the screenshots in like a 45-second YouTube short, and that would get...
This is what I was saying! This nigga goes to a park, a public park where there are probably children walking around, prints out screenshots of inappropriate messages that some other nigga sent to a minor, and reads them out as if he's fucking on an episode of To Catch a Predator. You didn't even have to be in the video. You could have just posted the screenshots.
The job done. You don't have to do that. That doesn't... Why would you go to Christian of all people? That's insane. That's a whole other story. As far as Lava's opinions, it wasn't that. But I do think it was severely inappropriate conversations that you shouldn't be having with a 14-year-old. As far as the meetup, that's the final kind of hole in this story. Well, I asked Lava about it, and it wasn't as nefarious as some people make it out to be. Basically, Lava's family, and this is from Lava directly, I talked to him, vacations in North Carolina and wanted to meet up to hang out with the people that he had been working for years. At this point, he was 16 years old, so he'd been working for the Mr. Beast team for like Mr. Beast Gaming for a couple of years at this point. So this is them in the RV. This is a picture that he gave me directly. Those feet down there are actually his dad's feet because he went with his family. So
hey, I think that's great. That just removes a level of something that didn't happen, and I think that's awesome that it didn't go as far as it obviously could have. But what did happen, I think, is egregious enough to a point where I guarantee those messages and those conversations didn't come up with the parents there. I know for a fact if those messages or those thoughts had been uncovered at that moment, Ava might not fucking be here right now. All this other like, I get that this didn't go as far as it could have, but this is even worse when I think about the fact that the parents had no knowledge of these things happening behind the scenes, and they couldn't determine for themselves if they would have liked to take an action a different way. Because I know for a fact I would have been so angry looking back on this situation, having brought my son to someone who was exploiting him in any way, shape, or form. I probably met up with the nigga, shook his hand and everything, and I not had the opportunity to beat the fuck out of him for talking to my son. This would make me more angry knowing that I was a parent involved in just hanging next to the individual that was doing that. I would want to kill them right now. 100%. I would never be, that anger would never be able to get out of me. And you could probably argue, well, nah, you're doing it for selfish reasons. You're not even doing it to protect your kid at this point because they're grown now. But I would be livid. I would never let that go.
It wasn't weird in any way, shape, or form. He ended up working on a couple of Mr. Beast videos while he was there. I believe some Minecraft videos in the RV. But it was with his family. Nothing weird happened. It was totally just to hang out with the people that presumably he idolized, looked up to, and also worked for. Now, Ava has made an apology to all of these allegations. But because there are so many, this initial apology was shit. I mean, I'll just read it. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or
Oh, she apologized.
offended anyone. It was not my intent.
I would like to apologize. Yes, seeing recent events, focus on my family and mental health. I want to add I never groomed anyone. The person who gets brought up these accusations has vocally supported that they are false. I don't even know. Like, this is literally in direct hypocrisy with what you're apologizing for. This literally just makes the above apology null and void. Why the fuck apologize then? You don't even know or see what you did wrong.
In recent events, we decided to mutually part ways. I think it's best I permanently step away from all.
This up here is just for the brand of Mr. Beast. and just to make sure that you don't get your friend into any more trouble. But this right here is you also saying, yo, they came out and said I didn't do nothing wrong, and I mean, like, bro, what the fuck is this?
Thanks to Mr. Beast and social media to focus on my family and mental health. So it seems like, I mean, at least as far as now, it was a mutual decision to step away. I don't know if it was a quitting or a firing exactly. Some people love to say mutual when it wasn't.
Well, this video.
A lot of parents sign off on their children getting married. Unfortunately, it wasn't Aaliyah married at 15. Look at Celine Dion and her husband. She was 13 when she was 36-year-old manager. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but normally speaking, right? But we tend to assume that most parents don't know every detail about what their child might be doing, and it's not likely that Lava exposed the messages between himself and Ava when he was 15 or 16 years old and they traveled to North Carolina in that RV. The parents likely didn't know what was going on and assumed that, hey, this is a work friend that our son is working with. They spend a lot of time together already. We're assuming nothing weird is going on. Like, 9 times out of 10, like, that's what was happening there. Not that they were pawning him off or saying that you can do whatever the fuck you want. Obviously, they went with him because they know we can't just let a child do whatever they want by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm going to unpause in a second. I didn't mean for this to be the screenshot.
He was being edited. Mr. Beast dropped a statement about it. He basically said that he was the one who fired Chris, which I thought might have been the case. So that is true. And that he's also doing a third-party investigation to basically see, like, what involvement it had with Mr. Beast Incorporated and what was just Chris by her own actions. So we'll see what comes of that, but just wanted to include this a little bit.
And it seems like a blanket I did it statement, you know, kind of because the PR talk and because it doesn't refute anything. Now, a couple hours later, Ava followed up and did refute the grooming stuff. But because it was later, look at the view difference. 33 million on this one, 1.8 million on this one. And I think the reality is most people have left this thinking that Ava has admitted guilt to all allegations. But she does refute that she never groomed anyone. The person who brought up the accusations against Lava are spreading, you know.
To lump these two factors together to create a narrative that my behavior extended beyond bad edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen. Get the fuck out of here. In past years, I've learned that my old humor is not acceptable. I can't change who I was, but I continue to work on myself. Yeah, they got it.
You know, false rumors, and Lava has supported me. Having said that, I humbly apologize to anyone I've hurt with my unacceptable social media posts, past actions, and to those who feel betrayed by how I used to act online. To lump these two factors together and create a narrative that my behavior extended beyond bad edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen. I learned my old humor is unacceptable, and I cannot change who I was, but I can continue to work on myself. And that's where it leaves us. Did Ava try to groom young teenage kids to eventually meet up with them to do, like shit? No, that never happened. Did Ava have severely inappropriate conversations with several different minors and then also have a history of supporting a lolly artist, even purchasing some of that lolly art? Yes. Is that worthy of being removed from Mr. Beast? Absolutely.
I think people also need to acknowledge and keep in mind that nothing sexual needs to occur in order for there to be a successful grooming to have taken place. You could have hypersexualized or overstimulated or oversexualized a child well before, or at a point where they never would have come to, just based off the conversation that you may have introduced with them. So you 100% still were successfully grooming minors in this back and forth. And it doesn't have to lead to the worst case scenario for that to happen. So the fact that there was a successful attempt, I don't know if the attempt was purposeful. I don't know if it wasn't. I just know that it happened. And it happened so successfully that the person that was a victim to it don't even know that it was a problem. To a point where he would say I wasn't exploited or nothing happened.
You should, you know? And even if Ava's a totally different person now, those former actions are still your responsibility. And I think it is
That was just the most bullshit apology I think I've ever seen. Not ever, obviously, but that's really bad.
To have stepped down or been fired. I don't know exactly how it actually went down. And that's where it currently leaves us at. I'm going to make a video in the next couple days on this channel because I had a lot of shit come my way about taking too long to make this while on vacation with my family. But that's a story for a different day. Hopefully that fills you in. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye. All right, see you later.
I mean, I think that probably is enough. Have people been harassing people to make content about this? I mean, I know why. It's another point about like whatever side you land on again, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's whatever. It's another stupid talking point.